Okay, everybody should have got that little doodad. All right. Check that out. There we are. Ha! Love
All
it.
right. How many computer screens do you have going there?
I just have two right now. Our other one, I can't log into our computer. Google won't open up. So I have no idea what's going on over there. So we haven't been on there
You
enough.
broke the internet.
Probably. All right. Let's see. Oh, here, let's do that. All right, that'd be better. Maybe now my audio will be recorded. So all right, let's see. Just so everybody knows, over on YouTube, I cannot get to any comments or anything. So if anybody's watching on YouTube, I am sorry, I can't get to any comments. But we'll try again at some point to see if we can do something like that. So anyway, I'm first I want to say sorry we haven't been in contact with everybody. Things have been a little bit different this time around with this surgery. So she's Tam's struggling a little bit more this time around. They did something different. It wasn't necessarily the rotator cuff. It was actually the top of the tendon on top of the bicep had jumped up over top of the bone out of the channel, and they actually had to cut that tendon, put it back into place, and use a nice screw into her bone. So things are healing at a little bit different rate. So it's just one more hurdle for her to go through. But I just wanted to give everybody an update on that. She's been in and out with the pain meds have been really knocking her out. So she can only sleep in a recliner. She can't lay flat yet. So it's been a week, almost a week and a half in a recliner, and I'm on the couch next to her. So
Oh,
yeah, we're dealing. We're dealing.
yeah.
But when she does get up and get some movement, but she's definitely one-handed for right now. And it's just more of a struggle than we thought it was. Nothing like the other shoulder. So maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing. We don't know yet. So
But a totally different injury, really. I
yeah,
mean, it's not like the other shoulder at all, right? I mean, it's
basically, yes.
completely different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely different. He did get in there and look around and took out any of the what do you say it was? Oh, no, I can't even remember. Adhesions, that's it. Adhesions. He wanted to make sure that there were no adhesions around there, and he said it looked good. He only took out a couple, but it was that top tendon. So hi April, welcome. I just gave a little bit of update for Tammy. She's recovering a little bit harder this time. That's why she's not on tonight. But pain meds kind of knock her out. She gets a few hours sleep and then just pain. So right now she had again she had the top of her tendon on top of her bicep was the issue. So they had to actually cut that and then re-screw it back in place. So
Ew.
yeah, tell me about it. I'm just like, wow. So we'll see. She gets to go to the surgeon tomorrow for her follow-up. So there'll be a lot of information probably tomorrow. We'll find out about therapy and when she can get out of that. She's in the big mobilizer, the big pillow and everything with the ball on the end. And I mean, it's a heck of a contraption. But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. But other than that, I just wanted to check in. Hello, Olivia. Olivia's in. I'm gonna see. I might have to repeat myself again. That's all good. Just giving an update on Tammy. She's not here tonight. She's having a rougher time this time with her surgery. Recovery is a little bit different than the other shoulder. So the injury is totally different and it takes a little bit longer, especially when they put metal in your body. They actually had to put a screw to hold the tendon into place. So, everybody knows her body that doesn't like overreacts to everything. So we'll see. We'll see how she's going. But she is doing good. Don't let me throw you too bad. But she is doing good. She's just in a lot more pain than she used to be. So, but hopefully it's getting better. When she gets her pain meds in her, she gets knocked out. So Advil right now, a little bit of Advil is her friend, and that's all. So anyway, I just wanted to check in with everybody. We're probably not where we should be. I'll just say that right now. We're way in the ditch. Just given the circumstances that we're, lack of sleep, not sleeping in the right place. Just there's a lot of things to do. Her frustration. Definitely she can't use the other hand, and she doesn't like to be waited on like she is. So it's something for her to get used to. But other than that, when we come out of this a little bit, after we get some information tomorrow, I'm sure that we're going to be jumping back to about keto continuum number 3 and starting over. So, but it'll be good. So that's what I got. Y'all got any questions or anything for me? Anybody want to check in? We can do what we need to do as usual if you want. I'm not gonna pick anybody. Somebody's gonna have to speak up.
Come on, you guys.
All right, Linda, tell me about you. I'll just pick.
All right, you know what? That's fine because I have no problem. I just finished my shawl project. I just want you to see it. It's looking very, very pretty. This is my first knitted project,
nice.
And I'm finishing it off tonight. I'm very pleased. I'm a crocheter, and keeps my hands busy and stops me from munching in the evenings. Well, it sometimes keeps me
sometimes
from,
does, doesn't it?
It's not solidly 100% effective,
but it's something, you know what I mean?
It is. Yes, it is. And I'm quite pleased with this project. So I'm just tidying it up. Anyway, so I ran across an interesting thing, and that is that so I've been keto since April. I've lost just over 30 pounds total, and haven't checked my A1C since it was 6 in March. So sort of hoping to get a good run at this thing and maybe see a number and what it looks like when I'm actually doing what I hope to be doing. So anyway, that's coming up. But anyway, so I did a sardine challenge like 3 weeks ago, I think it was. And it went so well. But when I came off it, it was like my brain went insane and said, we have to do this again in 4 days, right? Because you have 3 days of sardine challenge, and then you have 4 days. If any of you are laughing at me, that is okay, because I'm now. If I heard anybody else saying what I'm saying, I'd be like, you just seriously need to take a chill pill, Linda. But it was like I went into this full panic mode that in 4 days, and in only 4 days, I was going to have to deprive myself all over again. And I didn't eat the house, but it came close. And so I fell totally into off the wagon and into the ditch, and then it was like I was having a temper tantrum internally that this whole 7-day week thing, 3 days of, and I'm not even fasting. I mean, it's a sardine challenge, right? So it's not even fasting. And having done this, I have a whole new sense of respect for you guys who fast every week, because I was like completely out of my brain. So anyway, dragged myself back up, missed one meeting because I was being a brat, missed the second meeting because you guys canceled it, and I'm back because I'm like, I need you guys. Yep. So yes, I get this. And so I did a second sardine challenge last week. So I was just doing that on Monday night. So that was my start of my second sardine challenge, made it through. And then still felt that sense of, it's not panic exactly, but it's like entitlement. But I said to myself, no, we're gonna do it. So I started my third sardine challenge this morning. So because of the way my schedule works, this, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, break the fast Thursday morning and go on from there. That's a better fit for me. Of course, that means Thanksgiving's all around. So maybe we ought to be praying for Linda to catch a grip of something sane and, you know, human and adult like before Thursday.
I would say, I mean, that's definitely, it's a mindset. I mean, that even that sardine challenge is a mindset. I mean, you have to get everything ready, and you need to prepare yourself for that, because it is rough work. I mean, you really have to put your mind to it. And especially, you know, even with your sardine challenge, you do get something to eat. When you step into the arena of fasting, I mean, that takes a lot of mental fortitude. It really does. That's one that I can struggle so hard at that. Some days I get really focused and I can rock them out. Other days it is a struggle. I mean, even the first day, the second day, the third day, I mean, the whole thing is a struggle. So, and then you have to be, like you said, you have to be mindful, because you don't want to eat the house on the fourth day.
Right.
You don't want to do that, because it just sets you back even further.
Exactly. The numbers just go, like, by the time you get to the end of the third day, I don't know about you, but I love numbers. I really do. They behave themselves like they tell you where, not like people, but numbers are just where it's at. And so by the time I'm getting to the third day, I'm like, I don't know if I want to stop, because if I stop, like I could still get girls nodded. Yeah, maybe I'll just stay here and eat sardines. And then I'm like, no, because there's bacon out there, and pepperoni, and cheese, and steak. And that's when you kind of crack that door open.
Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, and yes, that's tough. That is tough. But you gotta, the more times you do it, I think the better off you'll be later. You're gonna have to experience that. You're gonna have to eat the house at one point, just so you know how bad you feel after that. Because when you get to that point again, you're gonna say, I really feel like crap. And right now that's where I'm at. We've way far off the way, you know, off the road. And it's like, man, I feel like crap. And it came on quick.
Yeah.
So it's just a reminder of, man, when I get back at it, it's going to be total focus again. And that's where we're going to stay. So you'll have to beat your head against that wall for a little bit till you learn.
Thank you. It's nice to thank. I appreciate those encouraging.
I mean, seriously,
builder up words.
That's right. You have to do that. Everybody on here has done it. That stove is hot no matter what. I mean, it is. So, but you work your way through it. You figure out what works for you, what methods you can use, and then you'll be able to teach somebody else. So, but hang with it, Linda. Just stay in and just keep working on that mindset.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, let's see. Hi, is it Nita? Let's see. I'm going to ask you to unmute one more time. Should be a speaker down there. Is it Nita?
Okay. Now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, it is Nita.
Nice to meet you, Nita. I'm Lance.
Thank you.
Nice
to meet you too. I read all about you guys, and
we tried. We haven't been on there for a little bit, but
I understand. It's very understanding why you haven't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm new at this. I'm on day 15 today.
Okay.
And I must be doing something right. I mean, I do check my ketones every day, but I got off for some reason, and I don't know why I was, but it straightened back up. But I have to tell you that probably I have like bronchitis, asthma, I was a smoker for years. So I have that trouble. And so that causes me to have the wheezing sometimes and be short of breath. And that was one of the things that, I kept telling myself, you have got to do something about your weight, because that might not be the whole problem, but to me, it's the biggest one. But by day 2, I could notice a difference in my breathing. By day 3, I could stand up out of the chair without having to push myself up. I could just stand straight up.
Awesome.
And it's just been, like little things like that. But, to me, those are really important. One thing I do struggle with is, of course, I was like an iced coffee drinker and not real big on pop, and that just on occasion. But I struggle right now with something cold to drink besides water. And I do. I drink water. But
have you tried like a soda stream yet?
No, I haven't. A friend of mine that is part of this, that's what he told me, that he got a soda stream for the carbonated water. I've never done that before.
It's a really different taste. I mean, even if you put a glass of ice water, water with ice, and you put a soda stream next to it, the finished product of that in ice, water and ice, and you take a taste of it, I can't tell. I don't know why it tastes different. It really does. It's the same stuff. It just got bubbles in it, but it does taste different, and it gets you a different flavor of water without throwing you off the rails. So
I'll
just
have to look
think
into that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's something that I struggle with. So I have to find, a way to get a grip on that. I mean, I have not had any kind of iced coffee in 2 weeks. So it's getting better.
That's a rough one.
It is. It's very rough, but I'm determined, it's, I know there's days it'll be a battle, but, I mean, it's just the silly little things. You put on a piece of clothing and it's like, oh, that's not as tight as it was.
Yep.
But yet it's only been 2 weeks.
Right.
But I noticed yesterday I put my jeans in the dryer, which I never do. And they fit me this morning.
Good job.
So it's just all the little things that I kind of keep track of. Because those were big things to me. They bothered me. Yeah,
absolutely. You take those little wins when you can and use them up, because there will, you being early in your journey and starting off, you may see some quick changes, boom, 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 real quick, right, on some different things. That's awesome. You need to take that win and keep that mindset going with them, because when you hit that plateau of things not changing as fast and your body's kind of catching up to where you are at this point, you'll need to keep those mental notes of, hey, I'm this far along, because you're going to come to a point where you're going to need to stress your body again to get over top of that plateau and to get to the next level. Yeah. But just enjoy those things that are happening. And it's the little things. I noticed too with me, when I got serious about this, my joints didn't hurt. And I've run construction for 25 years and I abused my body. And my joints, my knees, my hips, I mean, it was just, I noticed I could run up the stairs, not necessarily walk, run, and it didn't hurt. Same way going down the steps, didn't hurt. So those little things right there definitely make a difference.
They do. So I have trouble with that with my left knee, and I've already noticed a difference in that in the steps.
Awesome.
I used to be, by the time I got to the top of the steps, I was out of breath, and I'm not now. Good. And I know, I keep, maybe I get a little bit scared, but it's like, it's not always going to go this quick, and that, and I don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, it's bottomed out and I'm not getting anywhere, but I have to remember where I came from.
Absolutely. Never forget where you came from.
Yeah. Yes.
So, awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here, Nina. This is awesome. Hopefully at some point you'll be able to meet Tammy face to face here. So hopefully we'll cross our fingers maybe next week.
Well, I've heard a lot of good about both of you and the program and everything. So
well, thank you. We try. That's all we can do is try.
That's right. All of us. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. How about, let's go. I'm going to go to Gail. See, I haven't heard from Gail for a while.
I'll do my best. I have a hoarse voice.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good to see you.
You too.
Haven't been around here in a long time. Wanted to check in and see how Tammy was doing. I just went through that last July, a year ago.
Yes.
No therapy. I think finally some passive range at about 8-week mark. And then weights wasn't till about 12-week mark. But I had the bicep tendon, and then I had 4 screws in my rotator cuff besides. So I know where she's at. That first 2 weeks really suck. It really does. And, you know, I just wanted to get on here for support for her because it's just gross. You have to sleep in that recliner. And I just packed it down nice. And they give you about, a week of pain meds, and then they pull it away. So that, at least my doc, I couldn't get anything after about a week. So it was just
Really?
Yeah, just Tylenol, and it didn't touch it. So
Oh,
I feel for her though. Just it's not a easy surgery, but it'll pass. It'll get better. It took it took me quite a while to get to where I could lay in bed. So don't worry about the recliner. It's your home. So
I'm sure she'll love to hear that.
well, you just gotta embrace it, and pillows are your friend. Just prop
Yes,
them
they are.
take the pressure off of it. It gets better. I got a full range of motion, no pain in this. My shoulder would dislocate on me if I picked a case of water up to put it in the car.
Oh my.
I could pop it out. She just said that the doc I had, she said, I'd put 1, maybe 2 anchors in a rotator cuff. She said, I used 4 on yours. It was gone. So, and I was still playing ball. We'd go down to Florida, and I was throwing from shortstop, and all of a sudden, bam, my shoulder would go out of joint. So, but after that second week, you'll really start, it goes slow, but it'll start getting better and better.
Good.
So,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well,
Phil to contact me if she just needs a shoulder because I know exactly what she's going through. It really stinks. So
yeah. Well, thank you very much. I will definitely let her know about that.
I'll tell you, I had my knee surgery in 2020, and I was able to stay a little bit better on my fasting regimen, like time restricted eating through the knee thing. I had a harder time during the shoulder. I think it was just the pain was different.
Yeah.
Do your best and stay in that eating window, but eat. Go ahead. Don't feel like you gotta fast or anything like that. Just keep your window tight.
Yeah, and it's the thing that she's running into right now. It's hard because the meds are starting to upset her stomach, so she's gonna take them with a little something. So we're trying to stay the course the best we can on her little snacks, but it throws that eating window right out the window.
A couple plates of some yogurt or something will be enough for those meds. But yeah, I back to numbers and stuff. I kind of got stepped away from fasting. I thought I was fasting too much. I was all the time fasting, and I was just in a rut. And yet over the last, probably since May, I went on a trip, and I, you know how you do on a trip, I put on about 10 pounds, and I wasn't but I was just eating the chemistry, just doing my best. And I muddled and I muddled and I muddled. So start about October 30th, I went to an alternate day fasting regimen. I'm carrying that out through the first of the year, and I've gone down 7 pounds in a month. Well, it's not even been a month.
Wow.
And I don't find it to be super difficult because on my eating day, I make sure I really hit high fat. And I'm upping my protein on those days too. I was watching video, and I had nothing. They aren't keto, but they were saying on alternate day to eat your BMR calories. You know, on your chronometer, it tells you what your basal metabolic rate is.
Okay.
So it'd be like 1382. I think it comes out for my height. Excuse me. And up to what you would for maintenance calories. Now, I haven't eaten that much in a long time, which would put you at about 2,100 calories. So I still track everything chronometer, but my weight's going down. And Linda, you were talking about wanting to eat the house. I find after I fast that if I plate my food, I weigh it, measure it, plate it, and throw everything back in the fridge, because I could continue to just, oh, that wasn't enough, I got to eat some more. Oh, that wasn't enough, I got to eat some more. So, but anyway, the alternate day seems to be doing pretty good for me. I think before the holidays, I've done it before. I was successful. And it's a little less daunting as going into a 72. So that's what I'm doing. That's my plan through December to see how I do.
Awesome. And let us know the results and keep us informed of that. I think Wayne's trying something like that as well.
Wayne? Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see it. Sometimes you got to change it up. I mean, it's
how
Dr.
Barry got the labs book. My doctor ran all these labs. I have a high homeocysteine level, so it sounds like it's B vitamin deficiency. And then I actually had a fasting insulin of 9, which is in the parameters of okay, but not according to Dr. Barry's book. He wants you like 5 or less. So what I was reading in Dr. Fung's book about alternate day fasting, it's really good at getting your fasting insulin more under control. It just shows that after I've been doing this for almost 5 years, that I'm still insulin resistant. Yeah. I'm very close to my goal weight. I put on this 10 pounds that I haven't been able to get off, but I'm definitely insulin resistant. So I think by staying consistent with a better fasting regimen and a better refeed, so you're not jipping yourself, I think I'll get through that.
Yeah.
Plating your food's going to help a lot. So
don't actually putting a real, what a serving size is.
Yes.
Not what we think it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I can hear my wife in the background in my ear saying, that's like 3 servings, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, they say, I just eyeball it and I weigh it. I get out the scale. I was going to actually go to 72 which would have been tomorrow, but I made this beef roast for my husband and they looked awful good. So I cut it at 44 hours and I had 4 ounces of beef roast with some butter on it and a bunch of Redmond salt. And I was happy. And that's all I've had. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good job, Gail. Thank you very much for telling us what you're going to do. So
yeah, you just tell Tammy this too shall pass. She'll do good. She just tighten things up a little bit. Once she gets off the narcotic meds and you get on just some Tylenol and or Motrin, right. She'll be doing better. So which will be soon. They'll yank that narcotic back real quick here. They don't like you on it.
Yeah, they won't. Not too long. And I think given her circumstance, what she was before, I think she's taken them. We're not taking the recommended dosage right now. So, I mean, we're trying to see how much she can take. Rely a little bit more on the Advil than we are the narcotics. Just, she's worried that at some point, I think that she's worried that since she had them in her body, she doesn't want to go through that withdrawal ever again. So,
Yep. Well, I'll send my best because I feel for her.
I sure will. Not a problem.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Let's go to Olivia. How are you doing, Olivia?
Hello, everybody, and welcome, Mila. Welcome to the group. I kind of, when Linda was speaking, I feel what you're going through, Linda, because I used to do that as well. And there's this psychological part of it where, it's like, okay, I fasted and I deprived myself for 3 days. So now I want to eat everything that I can see in the fridge. And, maybe it was keto, but I still wanted to eat it and eat too much of it. So I know what you're going through. But it does get better. The more you do it, it gets better. I finished the 8 weeks of the 72-hour fasts. And for the 7 weeks at the end of each fast, the DBR was 4, except for this last Wednesday. For some reason, it was 5.
Oh, darn.
My glucose was a little bit higher. It was like in the 50s, like 57 instead of in the 40s like it had been. And then the ketones just went up to 9.9. But the only thing I could figure out is, maybe my body's adjusting to all of that, or maybe I've added weights to my exercise, and I don't know if maybe some fat cells are coming out of the muscles.
Possibly.
I don't know. And also maybe my liver is emptying out a little more. I'm not sure, but
Could be a couple different things.
yeah, but feeling good. Just the last couple of days, I haven't been able to sleep as well as I normally do because my husband's been snoring a little more than he does.
Oh, that's what that, huh? Always blame it on us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, just we're for Thanksgiving, everybody's coming here, so just a little bit more challenging, I think, because nobody but myself out of the 12 people that are coming, I'm the only one that does keto.
Oh my.
And actually I do, mostly carnivore, but so, there's going to be all kinds of desserts and all kinds of dishes. And so I'm going to try and eat some sardines the morning before we eat around 2:00, so that hopefully I won't fall.
Yeah.
Fall or fail, whatever.
Oh no, that's a trip. I mean, as far along as you are, you know how to play the game. You know how to do it correctly. You put yourself in the best position you can. Finishing up your 8-week 72s right now, right before Thanksgiving, you're probably in the best mental shape and physical shape to handle whatever pumpkin pie and whipped cream gets set in front of you.
But
Whether
I'm struggling because I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't even want to do that. I'm going to take a break for a week or two and then start up another 8 weeks. Mostly because I have my annual checkup in January,
right.
and I want to. I'm working on reversing osteopenia.
Right.
So and so I really don't want to get out of ketosis at all. And then,
I didn't mean to say that you would. I'm just saying
no,
you're going to be able to say no, I don't want that because of where you're at, what you just accomplished, and how good you probably feel. So you set yourself up really well.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
And no, I know you didn't mean that. But I think I'm kind of telling myself, because in the past that's been my issue, is that I have gone in and out of ketosis. And this is the first time that I've gone 8 weeks, other than those 6 hours when I ate the peanut butter.
Right.
Other than that, I've stayed in ketosis for the 8 weeks. And so I don't want to get out of it. And it's mostly me telling myself, don't do it because it's just not worth it.
Right. Exactly. That's awesome. I mean, you just, I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to be fine. And even if you got to tell yourself multiple times, you got this.
Yeah.
So
Awesome
job. Thank you, Olivia, for coming in.
Thank you. And give my love to Tammy, and I hope she feels better soon.
Yeah, she will. Like I think Gail said, it's just going to time. I mean, it's only been a week, so we'll see. Long road to hoe. So, all right, Wayne, how about you? Come on in, man. Say what you got to say.
Hello, everyone. Nita, thanks for joining us. It's always good to hear somebody's excitement coming in and getting some of the low-hanging fruit taken care of. It's low-hanging fruit, but it's not easy. So the fact that you're being encouraged by it is encouraging the rest of us as well.
Yep.
I had been kind of caught in some doldrums where I really wasn't advancing at all. I went through a process of doing a couple weeks of sardines, the sardine challenges. And then on my non-sardine days, I was still having one meal of just sardines. And then, so it was kind of somewhere between a OMAD and a sardine challenge. But the numbers were okay, but I was getting to a point where I really wasn't producing ketones. I was stuck in the 0.3 to 0.4 range. I did 172-hour fast, but then when I came off of that, again, I had those 4 days after that it's like, okay, I was not being consistent at all. So it was very frustrating to me. And I was glad to hear someone else talk about alternate day fasting, because I said, you know what? That's not something that Dr. Boz generally talks about, but at the same time, it is a regimented schedule where you're 7 days a week with a plan. It's either 12 hours of eating or you're not eating at all. So that's what I decided I was going to do for the last 2 weeks of November. I looked at what if the Thanksgiving was an odd or even day, and picked what day I was going to start based on that. And I'm going to finish tomorrow my fourth 36-hour fast, and my numbers are improving dramatically. My ketones are jumping up. I think they maximum were at 2.
Oh, wow.
They were as low as 0.6 on a day that I didn't sleep well the night before. So this clearly is doing something, and it's clearly working my body into metabolic flexibility by going back and forth, over, short windows of time. So based on that, I started looking at, well, what am I going to do in December? And again, do this 2 New Year's and see just how it goes, do an extended period, like 6 weeks. And this sounds stupid. Maybe I'm just being too OCD about it, but 7 days in a week and alternate day fasting doesn't get you on the same pattern every week. So I decided to do a little bit of a hybrid where I'm going to fast Monday, Wednesdays. And then I'm going to call an audible each week and either fast Friday or Saturday, depending on what's going on that weekend.
Okay.
The trick is I start after dinner on the day I'm feeding. So say 6 o'clock, I'm done. And then I wouldn't open my window until 6 a.m. on 2 days from that. But, generally I don't eat breakfast. So it usually turns a 36-hour into more like a 40-hour.
Mm-hmm.
But my numbers are responding. I haven't stepped on a scale, so I really don't know what that's doing. But we're all a science experiment here. So I'm going to do this for 6 weeks and see what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, tracking your numbers like you do normally. I mean, you ought to see what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, the first look at it is, hey, my body's responding to this. And even that's not the reason I went on this, though. The main reason I went on this is I needed a regimen. I was floundering on those days that the fast wasn't going on. So over a short period of time here, 10 days or so, I've been able to follow it strictly. So
good. And if that helps you get that mindset, you got to use some tricks. I mean, at some point you will come to a plateau where I think you need to pull an audible, like you said, try something different, mix it up on your body. Your body can get used to a lot of things. And, even if you do fasting, this, it can get used to it. So to mix it up, change it up like that just see what happens. Let us know.
Yeah. So, I figured I wasn't even going to talk about this tonight because, again, this isn't something that Boz teaches, and we focus on, the Boz methodology here, and I'm not throwing that out at all, but it's just some other ways of looking at things.
You got to start with the basics, and that's where Dr. Boz has that rooted foundation of the basics to get your body going in it. Once you get going in it, then you got to find out what works for you. And it's nothing against Dr. Boz.
No.
But once you get your body in that state, you may need to mix it up a little bit just to keep your body guessing. Because again, you don't want your body getting used to something all the time, because then it'll just slough off again. So,
well, you have to figure out what to do after that 72-hour fast. And I think what alternate day does, it gives you that eating day again quicker, and you don't overeat. But I know this, like, again, I found Dr. Fung before I found Dr. Boz. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
And Ramos works with him, and she just put out a book.
uh-oh.
It's a guide for women's fasting, but she said this pertains to men too. It is a great book. You'd go through it in a day. I mean, it's an awesome book, and it'll explain a lot why. That's why I chose to go alternate day. And I'm doing well. And my numbers, mine were in tank, exactly what you were saying. My blood sugars were staying around 95 to 100, and I shouldn't be. And since I've been doing alternate day fasting, my blood sugars have come down like 10 to 15 points, and my ketones are staying around 2. And I was like you were saying, 0.5 I was up in the fat. That wasn't doing it. If anybody, just for a read, just to reinforce what we do, it's a great book by Megan Ramos, brand new book out. I highly recommend it.
Well, the one that actually I decided to toy around with the alternate day fasting was Mindy Pell's, who's another one that does a lot of work, particularly with women. And I do listen to a lot of her podcasts, and I did read her book simply because my wife's involved in this too, and I was trying to give her some guidance as well. So that's another book that's out there that Mindy Pell's put out just about a year ago. So that's just
Fast
another
Like a Girl.
one. Fast Like a Girl is the name of that book. Yeah. But again, she throws into all her podcasts. Yeah, this is strictly for, she's, targeting women, but she says, guys are doing the same thing here.
Yeah. And again, you figure out
hormones.
You figure out what works.
Yep.
So absolutely.
So
Well, I'm going to reiterate one thing out there right now. I'm sorry about YouTube, guys. I can't get any comments. Our other computer is down, and I don't have enough hands. So sorry, I can't get to any YouTube comments. Hopefully you guys can maybe touch base with us in our Facebook group when you have a chance. So other than that, I want to get to Vicky down here at the bottom. Hi, Vicky. Oh, let's see if you can. We're going to ask you to unmute as soon as I hit this. There we go. Should pop up. There you go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I have tried so hard to get on, so I apologize for being late.
You made it.
I made it. So yeah, I got a lot of challenges here. I'm doing really good, I think. I'm able to look at my numbers and figure out kind of what I need to do and change things up before I go tank.
Okay.
So I was able to I got my blood sugar down into the 70s and my ketones up in the 2s, which is awesome for me. Yeah. And, but I've been insulin resistant a long time. And I know a lot of you all are insulin resistant, and you've been keto a long time and you're still insulin resistant. But you know what? That's the cards we're dealt. And we just have to keep have a focus. When you all were talking about doing alternate day fasting or whatever, that's great. But what's the purpose that your fast is supposed to accomplish? So just kind of always keep that in your mind and change things. I mean, don't forget, it's not all fasting. It's your mental attitude. It's your exercise. It's your,
stress level,
your metabolism, but a lot of it is, don't feel guilty about stuff, and don't hide stuff, and don't not post your numbers because they're not good that day, or don't check your numbers because they're not good because you had a candy bar last night.
Right.
Yeah. And I have a husband that's struggling. And it's really hard for me to see him struggle. Because, I watched him eat ice cream today, complaining about his numbers. But, the grandkids are here and everybody's having ice cream. And oh, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go down and eat a whole ice cream. And he ate every single bite.
Yep.
So
he's goal oriented. He's goal oriented like me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and he's done really well, but you can't not do it,
Right.
You have to take responsibility.
Yep.
But the other thing is I have a granddaughter that is like 50, 60 pounds overweight. She's 12 years old. They just put her on Ozempic. And I'm dying because they put her on Ozempic, and then the daddy walks in with Cheetos or whatever and sits down in front of him and starts eating right before lunch. And I'm like, I actually went over and tried to take it away from him, and I got oh gosh, you were done the wrong thing here.
Right.
But I went to him later and I apologized. I said, look, I'm sorry. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want. But here's why I did it. And I told him.
Yeah.
Because
that's all you can do.
No, it isn't. And, I'm finding Thanksgiving being difficult for me because I'm seeing what everybody else is eating.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know what I did? I mean, love them little sardines. Gosh, they save me,
Yeah.
And I just do my sardines and I do my fasting. But the thing I've learned too is if I really want a piece of that pumpkin pie, I can take a little bite of pumpkin pie and that's all.
More power to you.
But I don't feel deprived, and I don't do that very often. Yeah. And I'm very conscious of my numbers when I do it.
That's awesome.
I mean,
you're a lot like my wife. I mean, she can have a Hershey bar has like 6 different sections or cut up in 9 different sections.
She can eat one little one. I can't do that.
A half of a little one. And
that one I can't do.
No, I can't either.
But I
have
one. One bite is too much, and the whole pie is not enough. Just saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I know, because I know the pecans coming out this weekend, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, well, I don't care about pecan pie. What I did was, though, I wrote down my triggers, things that I really have trouble with. So I don't have trouble with any processed food. I can turn that down in a heartbeat. Processed cake, processed food, processed bread, I can turn that down. My triggers are more like homemade things. And most of them are things that I make, that I can make.
Yep.
So
the comfort stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I'm really worked hard, and I've kind of gotten over all that, a lot of it. But I noticed we were at an affair in Nashville, and they had these desserts, but the desserts were homemade desserts. They weren't mixed stuff, and it was really hard for me that night. I mean, that I fell, but the next morning I woke up and I ate sardines.
There you go. If that works for you, that's awesome.
I had to, but I mean, it's not like I know I'm going to fall, but if I do, I'm not going to beat myself up, and I'm going to try not to fall in a hole too deep.
Absolutely. That's all you can do. Good job.
That's all I'm saying. And the guilt sometimes that's accompanied with the stuff that you eat is worse on you than what you ate.
Yep. There's a lot of different.
It can make your numbers whack out.
Yep. So many different factors that go into it. I mean, there's the mental game, there's the stress, there's no sleep. I mean, you name it, it can affect your numbers. So it's not necessarily all the food.
And we seem to like focus on that a lot. Yeah, I've been trying to do more exercise and get outside more.
Yep.
You know,
It's
and
all about the
honestly, when you
balance.
do that, you don't have enough, and it takes away your time that you would be sitting at the table eating.
Yep. Absolutely.
For me. So,
well, thank you for coming, Vicki.
I love you guys, and I'm so glad that all of you are here, and our newbie. I'm really glad you're here, and this is a good group, and if you listen, you will find clues.
Oh, absolutely.
Little things that will help you, and I'm just grateful you all are here, and
there's so much information on here. Everybody has different ways, different things, different tricks, different tools. And it's awesome to hear, because sometimes when you get in that rut or you get on that plateau, you don't know what to do. And when there's other people on here saying stuff, it just, things will click. You put things together, your body, your lifestyle, the whole encompassing thing. That's a puzzle that you have to put together to figure out what works for you.
And it has to be livable. It has to be sustainable, or you won't make it.
Right.
You won't.
Exactly.
I mean, when I look at Olivia and she's done, oh my gosh, like, can't imagine. My goal is like, okay, if I can stay under 100 Dr. Bo's ratio, I'm in good shape.
Exactly. That's where your goals are.
And that's kind of where my goal is. And I was able to get down in the 20s. I was ecstatic. Mm-hmm. But and to watch Olivia, but she has a goal. And you got to revisit why you're fasting, because that changes.
Oh yeah. Why you're doing it, period. Mm-hmm. Not just fasting. Why you're doing it, lifestyle. I mean, it's the whole thing. Why am I doing this? So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Why am I here? God bless you, and God bless Tammy.
Thank you, Vicki.
I just really wanted to be here tonight. I know that. So
yep, she does.
Tell her we love her, and happy Thanksgiving. And I'm just grateful for everything.
Well, good. That's awesome. We're glad you're here. And thank you, guys. I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to you, to everybody out there. We know the struggles are coming this Thanksgiving. Hopefully not too hard on anybody. Be smart, be mindful, and remember what you're thankful for. So could be a bunch of different things. Don't forget family, but don't forget your why either. So focus on both of those. And hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I just want to say again where Tammy is, because if anybody's jumped on and missed it, she's having a little bit more struggle on this time with her surgery. So things weren't quite seen like we thought. So she did have some a tendon issue. She has a screw in her shoulder holding her tendon, the top of her bicep tendon, holding it in place. So she's struggling a little bit more with the pain, but we're going to get through it. Just like Gail said, just going to work through it. So I'm sure that soon she'll be back. If she doesn't get a hold of anybody on Facebook, we're trying to get through everything. There's a lot of things that come through. If any of y'all see anything on the group or somebody posting, you can answer that question. Don't be afraid to jump in there and give your 2 cents, because that will help us out any chance you get. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Thank you all for being here tonight. Hopefully everybody knows what's going on now. So, and you guys just have a blessed Thanksgiving and enjoy everything. Love you guys. Thank you. Have a great